Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ngani Titan. We're here on Prokhorovka once again, and I'm in the T-67, and this time we're bottom tier. We're bottom tier at least as far as the T-67 is concerned. There are a light tank on each team, a tier 4 light tank, and they obviously have scout matchmaking because neither of them are platooned. So, and tier 7 is definitely top tier from what T-67 normally sees. And there are a reasonable number of top tier tanks in the game as well, so it's not exactly, it's not an easy game or necessarily anything like that. Now I'm going to go up here to these bushes. It's a pretty aggressive position, and it's normally a kind of more of a spotter position. But I was planning on doing a bit of spotting. If depending on the layout of the teams, then I may or may not shoot from these bushes, or I might pull back. But there was nobody else spotting with light tanks, and we're kind of short of light tanks. Our light tank is scouting the middle. Now I actually think that's more of a medium tank job. The light tank should come up here or go to the hill. Now I'm going to pull back so there's bushes between me and the Boilermaker, because I don't want to make him easy for him to spot me. And I start putting rounds into the Boilermaker, and then he disappears. I could have kept shooting, but I decided the Yak Panther was a more valuable target, and I started putting rounds into the Yak Panther. Now, the Boilermaker was obviously watching my tracer, because he actually starts putting fire into my position, and there it is. And it's a blind shot. He didn't see me. Sixth sense hadn't gone off. And he puts the second round in on the basis that I might still be there. Now I finish him off, but it's because I backed up, I was exposed in that hole, and the medium tank coming up, which I think is the Comet, spotted me through the gap in the bushes, because I was no longer engulfed in the bush. But I just dropped down, move forward, drop down, get in cover between me and the enemy tank, and I'm no longer spotted. Now when I pull up here, I'm spotted again by the advancing Comet, but I want to support the heavy tank here against the Comet. Now the advantage there is on the heavy tank in my side, because the Comet's full body is available to be shot at by the heavy tank on our side. But I'm no longer spotted, so I'm going to head back up eventually into those bushes. But I'm just going to pause here a moment and use the curve of the landscape to just check that there's nobody else coming up. Now, T-34-85 gets spotted by teammates much further back, but I'll take the opportunity to shoot at him, because that's what I'm there for, really. I'm there to kill tanks. So we put a few rounds into him. He's bounced a few rounds as well, because he's been jinking around and twisting and turning, and there's good sloping on the armour for T-34. And now we're back into our original bush as well. We'll wait for the optics to activate. So nothing has appeared, so we're going to push forward into the other bush, and again wait for the optics to operate, and again there's nothing here. So I think we've cleared out what's on this side of the map, and we've the heavy tank pushing down here on my left, so I'm going to provide him with overwatch and advance in tandem with him. We have cleared out a lot of the enemy tanks, so the advantage is very strongly on our side. There's a Yak Panther in front. Now he is actually well angled from my position, and because he's obscured by bushes, I can't precisely tell whether I'm shooting at an appropriate piece of surface or not. But I should be able to find some place to get a shot through, and I get a shot through there, but I'm bouncing a lot of the shots. Now he's turned to face me, and he's dropped out of sight. However, at this point, other tanks have appeared into view, including that SU-100M1. Which is probably not my best target. They're fairly well armoured, and as you can see I'm having trouble putting rounds through the side of it even.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
And we don't get any opportunity to send any more rounds into him, but there's another Yak Panther, and he's kind of facing me, so it's much easier to put rounds into him. And however, the dispersion of the gun is going to troll me hard here, because I'm going to put 4 rounds in succession, and none of them are going to hit where I'm aiming at, or near where I'm aiming at, which is kind of the lower end of the plate there, because it's flattest relative to me. And now I'm out of armor-piercing ammunition. I'm down to high explosives, and that VK3601 should be killable with high explosives. If I can just land one on the engine deck. And now there's just the SU-100M, and I've only got 2 rounds left. So if I can time my run on the SU-100M, I have a chance of a Faden's medal. Because the last tank or the last shot is a Faden's medal, and they're rare enough. So I put a round in. He's down to very little health, and I put another round in. I do damage, but I don't get the kill credit, so obviously I didn't kill him. Somebody else put another round in. He had a hit point or 2 left after that. So, a nice piece of experience. 3 destroyed, nearly 2k damage, 700 assist. But I got an ace tanker. I was a bit surprised with the ace tanker because it didn't really feel like an ace tanker game to me. Ace tanker games usually on this tank were really tough games. This was I mean, I did a lot of damage, I did well, but it didn't feel like a really tough game. Oh, I did fire every round of ammunition that I had. However, if you look at the base experience, it's down to 1772, so that means a lot of the professional T767 drivers, the guys with 3,000 or 4,000 games, or 2,000 or 3,000 games, have probably stopped, and the actual ace tanker requirement has dropped considerably. However, I won't refuse it. An ace tanker game is an ace tanker game. They're always pretty good, and I'm quite thankful to get one. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you all again soon.